Hi everyone, here's Simone and this is tutorial number 4. Today we take a look about this guy, yeah, this one, um, that will allow us to smash any input in order to create interesting effect with it. So, yeah, even this one, single is nice. Okay. I had another example that I've done with it. One that I really like is this one. Okay. We can delete this. We are inside a container and we drop a GLSL comp, the top. This is not a GLSL tutorial, so if you don't know, just copy. I'm not such an expert, so make some space. We will need a uniform because we want to move something, our UVs. That is a float and we will call it time. We declare it in the code and now we have to create it in the top by doing a vector and make this vector this float moving by the common expression uptime.second by something small. Okay. So now we have this code inside our GLSL top. We want now our UVs with the sample point in the middle. So what is that? In the GLSL code, the UV are embedded here. So yeah. You multiply this one for 2 and you subtract 1. Okay. Now that we have those values in the code and in the void, we want to use it. So we make like this. We don't want a blue because we just want UV are red and green. Can be red and blue or blue and red or blue and green as you wish, but usually are red and green. And because we are outputting a vec4, we need alpha 1. Ta-da! Nice. Now they are moving slow, so we make it move faster. Oh no, they're not moving, sorry. Now we have to make it move. So we use this code and we type this expression that I actually try around just by putting some mathematical function and it's looking nice. So time and then after we subtract the cosine. Maybe have sense, maybe not, but it's nice to see minus time. And we are now creating a loop because if they're like cosine and sine in a formula, usually you are almost creating a loop somehow. So now let's see what's happening. It's happening that we're having a black period that will go minus 0 maybe even, and then we are having something and then again black. Having this black area now is bad, so we ask for the absolute value of this expression that will like clamp the value to 0, I guess. Yeah. Okay, boring part done. We have our UVs that are moving and doing something cool. Oops. To start displacing, we use a noise, we subtract a part of the noise to our UV apart, and then we want to have this noise, of course, multicolor, because we want to subtract not only the red, and then we make it move like this and go, oops, has to go slower. Okay, nice. The effect is driven by two components that we can find in the palette, the twirl and the feedback edge. In my last tutorial I was speaking about convolve system and reaction diffusion. So you can check the tutorial before and maybe use it here. For now, the easiest way to have some constant movement is to use a feedback edge. We plug our UVs and they start moving. In order to apply UVs to an input image, that we can even use a banana or filing, we use the reamp top. Reamp top. Okay. Here we go. And we have the smashed bananas, for example. There's something that is not good. You see, we are starting square and we are going out rectangular. So this has to be changed here. We go inside in the composite top that is doing the feedback edging. You have to select input one. And now you put the UV as big as the canvas, because in a while we will have also a canvas. Okay. Actually maybe has to be big as the input image. So yeah, you can try out. Now we make a trick with an over that will allow us to have repetition always compared to the incoming resolution and the canvas. So we take a constant that will represent a constant that will represent our canvas. Alpha is to be 0 and we don't want any value. Actually we just checked only alpha 0, it's okay. Now we take an over. You can be creative now with a composite, but let's keep the over. That will take the incoming resolution from input 1, will have the prefit overlay to native resolution and the extend overlay to repeat a better mirror. You can play around with that later, of course. You plug it and nothing is happening because the input image is big as the canvas. So now we drop a circle, tiny little circle that we plug into the system. Boom. And now you see is repeating because actually we can have an empty circle by adjusting some parameter. Here we go. And maybe we can make it even bigger by doing like this. Reamp overlay is always good to put to repeat. I don't know, sometimes it's good, sometimes not. Okay, so if we now put the circle big as the canvas, you can see that the feedback edge is doing some not really smooth operation. We can smooth it with a blur in between our feedback edge and the reamp, and you should put up the filter size. So now reaction is a bit smoother. The reamping is a bit smoother. Now is the funny part because you can play around. So you go to the feedback, you increase things, you make something happening. You can move it. You can take noise, of course. Noise is always good to be like this, maybe a bit more black, and then we see what happens. And we have this interesting pattern. Inside of the over, we can now scale it, zoom it, move it left or right, up and down, or repeat it if you like more a square effect, kind of. You can plug back a circle. There's something wrong. Yeah, okay, we're having a problem now because even if we are smoothing out the things, we are putting in the reamp 8-bit texture. This is wrong. So we change the pixel format of this guy, but still wrong because we have to go inside of this is 8-bit. This is 8-bit. Why? You're kidding. Why? So maybe the problem is in the twirl. Of course, here 32. And now here we go. Things are definitely smoother now. Yeah. Can increase it even more, like 40. So. To achieve a perfect line, we need an anti-alias. Okay. By, I don't know, if you plug the circle, then you can smooth the things, so you get these things. Plug a noise. Okay. What I did in my example, further than that, is adding an edge. Has to be a bit creative and make it, I don't know, something like goldy, kind of. And my was to mirror like this, and then I had a feedback blur chain that I already have here, thanks to David Brown. Thanks, David Brown. You're a good boy. Oops. Then you can add a null to see it and play around with all the value in the chain. You can, of course, move the twirl. You can move the noise. You can play around with the first noise. Yeah, now it's a matter of gusto and what you like, what you don't. By like not blurring at all and increasing the feedback, you start to having this like interesting effect, you know. Okay, I hope you will make good visual with this tutorial and we see each other next time. Ciao!